Hello, good evening, Noswaith Dda. It is I, Farmer Ben, I don't know what you call me, but whoever I am, here I am. Anyway, I've had a request from a player via YouTube. I do apologise, I cannot remember your name, so I am sorry. About how to level up weapons. Now, weapons in this game are like troops in Empires and Puzzles. They've changed the rules on it a few times. I suspect they aren't completely done as it stands. Essentially, so the reason I'm looking at the quest screen at the moment is you've got this quest comes up fairly regularly. Collect weapons, which is why 3-star weapons like this one shown here, which is the shotgun, sentry shotgun. 3-star weapons are relatively obtainable. They are not entirely farmable resource, but they are gonna be relatively collectible. 4 and 5-star weapons are not. You have to get them via summons. So the 3-star weapons are available via here. 2 and 1-star weapons, at least at the moment, I'm not seeing any purpose in saving 1 and 2-star weapons. I would advocate using them to level up other weapons. So your weapons have a capacity which is limited by what you have available. You'll see here that I have got a Manchester W14 red 3-star weapon which is ready to be ascended, because you can tell that because the little star there is flashing. So what I can do is I can click on that, I can click on upgrade, which is the ascension equivalent. Now, because of the rules of the game, now this is something I don't know, I cannot see it staying the way it is. To upgrade it, you need to upgrade it with a minimum rarity 3-star weapon. Well, obviously minimum rarity 3-star weapons are a bit few and far between. Yeah, simple as that, really. There aren't very many. So I've got a few 3-star weapons. Well, I'm not going to use any of those because I've already started ascending them. I've got a 4-star weapon that I'm not going to use because 4-star weapons, like I say, are not easily obtainable. I have disassembled a few 3-star weapons recently, so I'm hoping I haven't actually disassembled the lot. And my phone has gone, I'm not going to do this. Yes, so down here towards the bottom, hopefully. Come on. Oh, what's my phone doing? It's not scrolling very well. I do beg your pardon. Yeah, so I have got 3-star weapons. Have I got any? Ooh, those are all equipped. That's no good. Blimey, my phone is not running very well at all today. Anyway, never mind. It is worth keeping a couple of 3-star weapons to ascend other weapons. I was, no, I have used them all. I've disassembled them all, which is not ideal. It's worth keeping a few to ascend other weapons. Now, I will obviously get another 3-star weapons once I have completed the currently ongoing weapons quest, which I can't do at the moment because my weapons capacity is full. So if I disassemble some weapons, now I'm not going to disassemble weapons I've ascended or worked on. I haven't saved them in my favourites yet. I've got 2 4-star guns there. I'm not going to disassemble them, but I will start on the craft weapons and work my way down from there. These are all guns that I do not really, I'm never going to use 1 and probably never going to use 2-star guns the way the game seems to work. Because 3-star guns, as I sort of mentioned, are reasonably readily available. I'll disassemble them, I'll get a few bits, and then I can do the same again. Let's get rid of some of these weapons. Boom. Get rid of those. Yeah, missed one. Never mind. So disassembling your weapons regularly is quite important. The game will basically make it pretty clear to you because it'll say your weapons roster is full. You know what do you want to do. Disassembling weapons is the way to sort of clear it out. It's far more effective than just continuing and seeing what happens. So once I've disassembled my weapons, I would look then mainly towards my best weapons as a rule. This is what I've been doing. I'm not saying this is 100% right, but I would look at my best weapons. So I can see my Viper Prophet. Well, I can't ascend that. That's one of my best weapons. To level it up, I would need one of these 8x scopes. Well, that's a rare part; they're not easy to get hold of. I do, however, have a spare accessory rail, so can you see I need 2 accessory rails to ascend it. But I do have some spare accessory rails, so that means that I will quite happily upgrade one of my 3-star weapons, because I can use the accessory rail. I won't do it twice, but I can do it once and still have an accessory rail should a 8x scope appear, because I'm going to focus on my best weapon, on the general theory that most of the time you want to have your best weapons leveled up, but you also want to be sort of building up the others, because it's useful to be able to colour stack and so on and so forth. Moving on through that GNP mag. So my main frame, I don't actually think I've got. Oh no, I can ascend some red weapons, but those are ones which are not already ascended, so I will probably save that for now. My Easy Pro, to ascend this, I would need, or level it up, sorry, I would need a magazine, one of these quick draw magazines, but I do have plenty of pistol grips. So I have plenty of pistol grips and the other bits, so I could ascend a 3-star weapon, although none of my 3-star weapons are there. So basically it's kind of a case of I choose the weapons which I think are going to be worth ascending, and gradually ascend them, and I focus on whatever is most powerful, or has the potential to be most powerful, and everything else kind of sits around waiting to see what happens. That is my way of doing it. I'm not saying definitively that is the right way of doing it, because at the moment I'm a little bit unclear. The current system whereby, you know, to ascend this Viper Prophet, which is my only 4-star weapon, ascended to 4-star, I had to sacrifice 2 4-star guns, which is quite extreme, really. I mean, 4-star weapons are not readily available, so I had to sacrifice 2 of those to ascend 1 gun, and it's hard to see how sustainable that is, because, like I say, you can only really get them from summoning, and not even easily then. So yeah, that's a little bit about ascending weapons. Now, having done that, my next step will be to do the what do you call it? Special ops, to do the weapon summons. So do the not weapon summon, collect weapons missions. These will get me some more, in this case purple weapons, but it will get me some more weapons. That's the main point. They will, the 1 and the 2-star weapons there will be disassembled. The 3-star weapon will be sacrificed in order to level up that that gun I was looking at earlier on. What was it? I was going to ascend. Sorry, promote. Is it promote? Upgrade. Upgrade, I think is the term they use here. Which is that Manchester W14 there. So I will upgrade that one to its 3rd star, and then it can continue to level it up. I can't do that right now because I'm still waiting on the weapon, which I do not have. So yeah, that's where I am with weapons. I'd love to say more or be clearer on like top strategies. I don't know. My view has been that generally, if you've got a good weapon, you want to ascend it all the way. So, like my best weapons. Oh, hang on, going off topic again here. Where are you going? No, stop, back. Here is right weapons. So my best weapons are the 3 4-stars that are up in the top left corner of my screen: the Viper Prophet, the mainframe 9mm, and the Easy Pro. Basically, I've tried to make sure that I always have, if I can ascend, or if I can level those up, that is my priority. But I do check, as I sort of showed you earlier on, if I have resources. So, like, I mean, I'm not short currently of the magazine required for the red weapons, so I could quite happily level up a red weapon. I won't do it at the moment because, as I mentioned, I'm leveling up that Manchester, which I'll ascend. My Easy Pro, I'm not short of the pistol grips, so I'd happily level one of those up, but I am short of the quick draw magazines. So the quick draw magazines are being saved for that weapon. And until I get hold of that's all that's going to happen. So I'm focusing on kind of one main weapon whilst upgrading others, as long as they don't require things that are essential for that weapon. Some of the lesser weapons, so like this one is my assault rifle. See, I could upgrade this a few times, so I could level it up 4 times, but at the same time, I don't necessarily use it that often. Maybe on Titans that I would use 5 weapons of the same colour. I would also say you never need more than 5 3-star weapons. So you'll see, or 5. Well, at the moment in the game, it's 5 weapons of any kind. So actually, in fairness, this waffle 40. There's a few weapons now I've got down the bottom here that are probably superfluous. So I need to actually go through and get rid of them because I mean this waffle 41 essentially has no value now. It's never going to get used. Waffle. I'm going to call it waffle. Waffle's better name. It's never going to get used. So I've got a few guns which I leveled up early in the game because they were all I had. And I don't think they're going to get used. It may be that there will be like challenge events where you can only use 2-star guns and things in time, but the game's still a way off from that. And leveling up 2-star weapons is relatively easy. So I will probably in a minute have a sort of a clear out of some of my 2-star guns, which I simply don't need. Still not entirely sure why. Like if you look here, I have a sentry shotgun, old sawn-off shotgun. And then I have a sentry shotgun, sawn-off shotgun. Well, one's old and one's new. There we go. So that's why one's 2-star and one's 3-star. But yeah, on the whole, I'm not actually sure why I'm keeping those. It probably would make sense to get rid of them. So to just have sort of, mind you, I'm short of purple 3-star weapons, so perhaps not. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is a bit of a waffly video, and it's really hard to say the best ways and means of doing these things. As I say, I would choose a weapon you want to get to the top and make that your priority. But periodically, you can almost certainly afford to level up some of the other weapons as well, so that you can colour stack more effectively on like Titans and things like that. Anyway, yeah, so I hope there was something of use there. Like I say, apologise, there was a lot of talking in this video and not a lot of action, but then sometimes that's the world we live in. Yes. So it just remains for me to say, may death come swiftly to your enemies. I hope there has been something useful in this video. By all means, comment, like, subscribe, all those kind of things. It would be actually quite useful for me if somebody has like top tips on weapons, because currently, like I say, I'm sort of it feels kind of like the blind leading the blind. I don't believe the current system is going to be sustainable simply because to level up, to upgrade fully a 5-star gun, it is just going to be so expensive. Because you'd need 4-star guns you can sacrifice into it and 5-star guns, and you can't get them from farming. You have to go out and buy them, or win them via summoning. So it's not going to be easy. Anyway, that's my view at this current time. It may change, but there we go. Anyway, take care, my lovelies. It's been lovely to talk to you all. Take care. This is Farm Ben saying, may death come swiftly to your enemies. Good night. Thank you for watching. Bye.